What is up, guys? Vector Designs here with day 5 of GFX-Mas. So today's GFX-Mas is going to be a tutorial, bringing back the tutorials, and it's going to be all about gradient mapping, also known as color correction. So let's just jump right in. Here I have a couple of photos, stock images, that I just have in my GFX pack. And so what you see here, the first image, is just some large mountains. Now this picture looks really nice, but it looks a little bland, like mushy over here. So what I can do is I'll go into my gradients and change the color. So the first gradient map that we're going to be doing is black and white. So just change that to black and white. Make sure this is on foreground to background, like that. And have black as your foreground and white as your background. Go to Colors, Map, Gradient Map. And when you do this, make sure it's on a duplicated layer. So you see, there. And once you have that layer, it should look something like this. Now, this is not what you want. You still want to have color. So what you're going to do is you're going to first change it to soft light. And you could instantly see that it brings out all the detail in the background. But it's a little too dark. So we're just going to tone down the opacity to, I'd say, about 70%. And as you can see, that is a big difference. If you go from this to this. But you might want a specific mood. For example, the sun setting and that mood. So what you can do is you can use different colors. So for sunset, you would want to choose colors like orange and purple. And when you get that, and you use soft light and tone down the opacity, it'll look something like this. As you can see, the sky is a purplish lavender color, and the ground is orangish. And that really helps if you have a piece and you want to just add a little bit extra into it. Something extra into it. And some other good ones that I found would go nicely with this mountain background is magenta and bright blue, this color and this color. And that gives a more of a happy fantasy type effect. So if you did something like, I don't know, maybe a castle in the sky, then you would kind of want this gradient overlay, gradient map. And the last thing that I have is a dark red and brown. And this is very, very similar to the pink and orange, but just more intense. Like if you look at this one, and you look at this one, the red is, of course, much more intense. And you can also add the black and white to any of these to add a little bit more detail. So next, we're going to go into a different type of background. We're going to do city. So here we have a background of this girl. She's looking over the city. And say we wanted it to be very happy. Then we would want to choose some very happy colors like yellow and pink. So here I have yellow and pink, soft light, tone down the opacity, and it gives it a more sunshine effect to it, the sun beaming down. Again, black and white. Can add a little something extra to it. Now, I also found that blue and green, just bright blue and green, this color and this color, adds a pretty cool effect. It makes it a very tinted bluish and looks very futuristic like. And now the last thing that I have is a reddish color, which signifies sunset or maybe destruction if you had a lot of explosions and stuff going on in this scene. And yeah, so now let's move on to the last one. And the last one isn't so much of a color correction, but it has to do with gradient mapping. And that is gold. So you see the original picture of this is just a gray, tinted greenish metal interface. But if you go down to gradients and you click on this, there is a whole series of different gradients that you can choose. That is not just two colors, it's multiple colors. And so what I did here is I took golden and I just added, you just have to click on it. Again, duplicate the layer and just go straight to gradient map. And that adds kind of like a gold effect to it. And yeah, looking at it, you can add a red effect. And kind of mix that in. And that makes it a little bit darker. Giving it these highlights in it. Say you wanted it to be looking evil like, that would work perfectly. So what I'm trying to tell you guys is just to use your gradient maps, try to incorporate that with the type of feel that you're trying to get for the piece. If you look at this, my background, this contains gradient mapping. Originally this was all pretty much mostly gray, but I added a gradient map of purple and orange, and it gave it this purple hue to it, and I think it looks great. So that concludes this tutorial. Put your suggestions in the description below. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Unless the world, ends. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.